Thanks for joining us on Sheridan County Ag Update. Today I have with me Stephen Gamble, a 2024 recipient of the NILE Merit Heifer Program. Stephen, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Liz.
You bet. So before we get started here, I want to say a quick shout out to our sponsors. Thanks to Heartland Kubota and Truebilt Builders for sponsoring our podcast today. So Stephen, let's talk about this program and how you got into it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a few recipients in Sheridan before me. I know of Jet West and Chloe Wardell. Through their experiences, that really made me want to try the program. So I got my application started after plenty of questions from the past recipients, and Shelby up at the NILE, she's been a great help to me. I got the application filled out, and then I got my heifer around last October, and we've had her since. She's been growing, and we just got her bred now. Yeah, it's been going good so far.
So I had Shelby Shaw on here last year talking about what it was, and we talked a lot about Jen and Chloe both having it, and they were both very successful in what they did with their heifers and representing them well. And so let's kind of talk about it step by step. So the application process, what all did you have to do for that?
Yeah, so what all is included in that is, first off, you have to write an essay, 2 pages, I believe, about why you should be chosen over anyone else. The next segment of that would be a short YouTube video, 3 to 5 minutes long is what they recommend. Just kind of showing your facilities, your barns, what you feed, how you feed, and again, why you should be chosen to receive one. And then there's some more paperwork through there that you got to sign out. And then another part you actually helped me with was the recipient letters. You have to get a total of 6 letters of recommendation, or 3 letters of recommendation, but then 3 references that you put down, their name, number, all that. And then you got to send it all in by June 30th. And then they choose who gets one and who doesn't.
Stuart and I must have the magical touch because we've written for 3 of you, and all 3 of you have got one. So maybe we have maybe there's something there. I don't know.
Must be.
But okay, so then you find out who gets them, and then what's the next step? I think, didn't you have to go up to the NILE last year to?
Yeah, so we went up to the NILE this past year, and they announce all the recipients, and then you will get to coordinate with your donor, whoever donates your merit heifer to you. You'll get to coordinate with them when you're going to pick it up and how you want to do all that. So my donor, Quarter Circle Livestock, actually dropped mine off on their way to NILE.
Okay.
So we got her before, but then we still went up to NILE. They announced them and all, and we watched the show. So we got to see Chloe Wardell show and all the past recipients. And then you have your monthly reports every month. Those started up in January. That consists of like a financial report that you're having to fill out, keeping track of how much you're spending on her. And then they'll ask you some questions about, there'll normally be a monthly meeting with like a slideshow. They'll have a presenter. We've had some people from different feed companies coming and talking to us about what and how we need to feed our heifers. We've had some people talk about what we need to breed our heifers to, that kind of thing. So the monthly reports, they'll include questions about those kind of things, and then you just keep doing those every month until you get back to NILE this year. So.
Quality Kubota machinery and customer care from the heart. Proudly serving Sheridan and the surrounding area since 1996. Go online to heartlandkubota.com or stop by Heartland Kubota, 2450 Heartland Drive. And so for those that maybe are watching and don't know, the NILE is the Northern International Livestock Exposition. It's a mouthful, and it's been going on for years. And this NILE Merit Heifer program has gone on for quite a few years. And it's not just local Montana and Wyoming kids applying, and there's donors that are from other surrounding states, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's limited, or it's not limited to any state. There were some people as far as California that received one this year. So really that's not a problem as long as you make it to the NILE up in October. But no, it's open to all the states. There's donors all over the country. And next year, I believe, is their 25th year of doing it.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So now you got this heifer and you have taken her to some shows throughout the year, and they have some NILE Merit Heifer jackpots or steer and heifer jackpots. So, and you just went to one, didn't you?
Yeah, just this past Sunday, I was at one.
Okay.
And my heifer Mako was the third overall NILE Merit heifer that was there.
Okay. So it's not a requirement that you go to these shows. That's just kind of a bonus.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
You get to meet your other recipients and see how your heifer stacks up.
So the only required show is to actually take them back to the NILE the following year.
Yeah. You're not having to do all these jackpots at all. Just the NILE is the only one you have to do.
Right. So you go through all this process and then you take possession of the heifer. Actually, then you will have possession of her this year at the NILE.
Yep.
She will become yours if you've completed all the steps.
Yep. So you have to get your heifer bred, which mine was just bred. You'd have to get a letter from your vet confirming that she's bred and bring that with you to NILE. And then after you show her, do your interviews, submit your record book this year, I'll own my heifer fully. They'll transfer ownership to me from the NILE and Quarter Circle, who owns her right now.
Okay. And so you just referenced, but there's an interview process up at the NILE that you go through, and there's a record book that you have to keep throughout this whole year of everything you've done with her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, pictures of anything involving your heifer, pictures from all these shows I've been taking her to, and you kind of just pile it up. I still got to work on that. It's a lot to do, but yeah.
So if somebody is watching this and they're interested, where do they go to find the application or to find all the information?
Yeah, so the NILE Merit Heifer program has a Facebook page, and I believe they're on Instagram, other social medias. If not, you can go to the NILE's website, and then you go to the little pop-up in the top right and select their different events, and then the NILE Merit Heifer will be there. You can find their application there, and all the rules and guidelines and deadlines. And if you have any more questions, Shelby's email and phone number is on the NILE website, as well as on their Facebook page, I believe. And she's a great resource. She's been an absolute help to me this year on what I need to do and when. And she was super helpful getting my application done last year.
Well, good. Making plans for building a new barn, shop, or commercial building? Don't do any planning without a call to Sheridan's premier post-frame building and homes builder, True Built Builders, online at truebuiltbuilders.com. Good. So what else do you want to talk about with the program?
Like I said, it's next year is 25 years they've been doing it. It's such a great program. You get a free heifer. All you're having to pay for is the feeding her and the breeding expenses and all that. But it's been super great. It's a super great opportunity to get your foot in the breeding industry of livestock. Like me, we don't really have a huge herd, but this is going to start my herd of cattle that I'm hopefully going to keep her as long as she lives. I plan to. Yeah, it's just a great opportunity to get your foot in the breeding world of cattle. And I've met a ton of new people this year. I plan to meet a ton more at NILE. It's a great opportunity for networking for sure. I've met a lot of feeders from like Purina. I've met some people from Gen X this year. Yeah, no, the networking has been great. There's been so many opportunities that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Yeah.
Well, and just to add, you are a member of the John B. Kendrick FFA chapter here.
Yep.
And you are co-vice president of the Goose Creek Livestock 4-H Club, which congratulations on a successful fundraiser just happened. So,
yeah, thank you.
So from a personal note, I can say Stuart and I are really proud of you, what you've done, and to watch you grow these last few years. And we were super excited for Jet and Chloe and for you to all three in 3 consecutive years be able to represent Sheridan and the various 4-H and FFA clubs as a NILE Merit recipient. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. So congratulations and good job.
Yeah, thank you. And I highly encourage everyone, not just in Sheridan, but around the state, apply to keep this going. It's such a great program. And the recipients are, you couldn't have the program without the recipients. So I highly encourage everyone to apply just to get your foot in the breeding world of livestock.
Well, and I think if there's someone out there who is interested in being a donor, to contact Shelby with the NILE, Shelby Shaw, and she can get you on a list and go through what that process entails as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, Stephen, thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And good luck at
Thank you.
Fair and State Fair and NILE that'll be coming up. And we hope to have your picture on our website as a big winner.
Yeah, I hope so too.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Thank you. And thank you to our sponsors, Heartland Kubota and True Built Builders. Check out SheridanMedia.com for more news, sports, and podcasts.